welcome to PLN. Tomorrow is an exciting day as the Supreme Court will hear the oral arguments for Feigenbaum versus Crystal Lake School District, a very controversial case involving the establishment of religion in public schools. Johnny Feigenbaum, a 6th grader at Crystal Lake Public Middle School, and his parents sued the school district claiming that the school was advertising Christian beliefs. The school had made announcements about an upcoming community fundraiser featuring the band Mighty Men of Faith at the local church, the Water of Life Community Church. The Feigenbaums were outraged by this announcement, and even more outraged that the school refused to stop it.
Crystal Lake Middle School is crossing the wall of separation that is meant to exist between church and state. It is incredibly inappropriate and illegal for a public school to promote anything that is tied to religion or a religious institution, regardless of the community's traditions.
The Feigenbaums sued Crystal Lake School District, claiming that by promoting an event at a church with a Christian band, the school was violating the Establishment Clause and the separation of church and state. In response, Tom Brown, superintendent of Crystal Lake School District, says the school has been promoting the event for years without any problems. The school district believes that they are not supporting the church or any other religious institution by advertising for a public event that happens to be at a church and include a performance from a Christian band. So what is each side arguing? Who is likely to win? You will find out in just a bit. But now over to Sara, my correspondent, for a little bit about the importance of the Establishment Clause and separation of church and state in American government.
Thanks, Gabby. Now, as Gabby said, this case brings up an important issue about the Establishment Clause in the First Amendment, which looks at where the government can interfere with religion. It also looks at the separation of church and state. Now, there are a couple of precedents that may be used to look at this case. One is Lynch versus Donnelly, and in that case, there was a Christmas decoration put up in a shopping mall in Rhode Island. Now, people weren't happy with this because they thought it established a religion that the mall was choosing a side. However, the Supreme Court ruled that this was not the case due to the holiday season and that they were not supporting a particular religion.
There you go.
This case might help the Crystal Lake Public School show that they were not in violation of the First Amendment, that they were not in support of a particular religion by supporting this fundraiser. Another case that may be used is Lemon versus Kurtzman, and in this case, the government was providing supplementary salaries to teachers who were teaching in non-public schools. The courts ruled that this was, however, in violation of the First Amendment because they were supporting a particular religion. Now, the Feigenbaum family can use this to help them in establishing a religion. Now, today we're going to hear from a Harvard law professor, Mr. Feigenbaum himself, and the Feigen family lawyer to tell us more. Professor Potok-Holmes, could you please tell us more about Crystal Lake School District and where their head is?
Of course. Now, many have questioned the motives of Crystal Lake School District in this upcoming case. People are upset that a public school would approve the promotion of religion or announcements of events taking place in a religious house of worship. However, most people are failing to see the other side of this issue, the side of the school district. The event being promoted throughout the school was a community event, just so happening to take place in a house of worship. This event has been taking place at the church for years and has always been promoted by the school. Crystal Lake is a very conservative town, and its members have no problem with this event or that is being promoted at school. Crystal Lake School District fails to see anything wrong with their actions and will continue to see it that way until the closing of this case. They claim that the First Amendment of the Constitution protects the rights of freedom of religion. Promoting this event causes no disruption to the school environment, therefore, the school is constitutionally protected to promote this event. Crystal Lake School District has a similar mindset to those of Santa Fe School District in Texas, who were involved in the case Santa Fe versus Doe in 2000. The Santa Fe School District was being sued by 2 students who did not approve of a public prayer before football games. Similarly to our current case, the announcements were made by students. This also took place in a mainly conservative Christian town, where most residents did not disapprove of the promotion of prayer before games. The Supreme Court ruled against the Santa Fe School District. However, these 2 cases are slightly different. In this current case, the student was not totally promoting religion or prayer. He was announcing a community event that happened to take place in a church, not making prayers over the loudspeaker to the whole community. It will be interesting to see what the court decides on in this case, seeing what decisions they have made in the past in cases like these. Now back to you, Ms. Kramer.
Thank you, Professor Potok-Holmes. Now let's hear from Mr. Feigenbaum himself to tell us more. Mr. Feigenbaum?
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. While we moved into the town of Crystal Lake expecting a quaint neighborhood, a kindly population, and a quality education free of corruption for our child, Johnny, we were sorely mistaken. What we found instead was a Crystal Lake filled with zealots, bent on converting any and all newcomers to Christianity the minute they set foot in their lair. One day, not a week after we had finished unpacking the last of our furniture in our lovely new home, little Johnny came home all abuzz about something. We were excited at first, since usually Johnny won't even come home from middle school with a smile on his face. But then Johnny told us what he found so exciting, and we practically flew into a rage. The Crystal Lake Middle School was advertising a concert at the Water of Life Community Church. At a church, I remind you, we found this to be completely unacceptable. Schools practically shouting praise Jesus from the rooftops, and our little boy was getting pulled into their religion through this absurd peer pressure. Our family had a discussion, and we all agreed that we had to lodge our complaints with the school's administrators, since they would certainly put an end to this. When we spoke to the principal of Crystal Lake Middle School, expecting an apology and a swift withdrawal of the offending advertisements, we were instead stunned by his nonplussed attitude. He even chuckled that the school had been supporting this event annually for years and there was nothing to worry about. How ridiculous. It was clearly endangering our child's well-being by attempting to influence our little Johnny's faith. And we needed to put a stop to this once and for all. And that's why we, as a family, have decided to take this case to United States courts. And we will take it as high as the courts need it to go.
Thank you, Mr. Feigenbaum. And now over to Owen Steinberger, attorney at law for the Feigenbaum family.
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. I have been working day and night with the Feigenbaum family to find past cases to help prove that Crystal Lake School District is in violation of the First Amendment. We will first note that the dissenting opinion of Justice Rutledge on the case of Everson v. Board of Education supports our case, noting that the funds required to advertise for these religious functions were in fact raised for the school through taxes, breaching the wall of separation that should exist between church and... Another helpful case is Allegheny County versus ACLU, where a display celebrating Christianity was ruled unconstitutional because it was located in a secular building, similar to these Christianity-embracing advertisements. And finally, there's Santa Fe v. Doe, a case that ruled student-led prayers in schools unconstitutional. Perhaps it could prove that student-advertised Christian events are also unconstitutional. We are determined to defeat the corrupting forces of the Crystal Lake Middle School.
Thank you, Mr. Steinberger. We look forward to hearing more of your arguments tomorrow in court. Well, that's a wrap for tonight. From all of us here at PLN, we thank you and hope that you have a great evening. Stay tuned for tomorrow's recap on this exciting case.